hello, welcome back to episode 3, if we want to start calling that episode 3 of this series dedicated to helping you activate this year, activate your dreams, your vision for this year, not some year out there somewhere, but this year here today. So I'm really excited about each of these episodes that I get to do with you all, and really looking forward to what we're going to discuss here today. Please do remember that this is an interactive live conversation, so do join in with me. Let me know in the comments, give me a hi, give me a wave, hit that heart button. But also, these are conversations where I want to hear from you in terms of what are your experiences of the things that we discuss here today. Today specifically being dedicated to why believing in yourself is a myth, really. From my experience in my life and what I've seen my clients create in their lives, it has absolutely just kind of shot to pieces that belief that believing in yourself is a prerequisite to you being able to achieve your dreams, what you want in your life, where you want to go, the person that you want to be and become. And I think it's a whole load of BS. I really believe it's a load of bullshit. I think it can be a real disservice to people. So hey, hello, thank you for being here. It's Suru and Ket. And we've got the Vipin Dubey as well. Lovely to be with you here this afternoon. And yes, do say hello to each other in the comments as well. Interact with me, interact with each other. Let this be a live, interactive, emergent conversation that we have together. So firstly, tell me in the comments, what is your experience of believing in yourself? How have you used the idea, the concept of believing in yourself, and how has it worked for you? Because I'm always intrigued, I'm always interested to know if it does work, and what the actual mechanics behind it is. This is why I think believing in yourself is actually a lazy comment. I believe it is a disservice to people, because it's such a casual thing to be able to say to someone, oh, just believe in yourself, Isuru said it's been comforting in hours of discomfort. Yes, I would love for you to expand on that, Isuru, because I feel that I can relate to that. I can relate to how the idea of thinking, okay, well, if I can just muster up the courage to believe in myself, then things might start to change. I would really love to hear what your experience of how that has been comforting for you. What that experience is. But I do think that it can only get us so far. And in fact, it can be a drain of resources. I think it's actually a false economy, right? I feel that believing in yourself is a false economy, in the sense that actually it can be an energy drain as opposed to something that allows you to place the energy where it's needed, right? Place the energy where it's actually needed. So Isuru is saying, the Stoics say you will always have the ability to act despite what is going on in the external world. That is brilliant, Isuru, and actually that is very much the heart of what I've found to be what's actually happening, as opposed to what so many of us have come to think of as believing in ourselves. So the believing in ourselves, why I think it's a false economy, why I think it's actually a waste of energy, is it's a complete misdirection of energy. If you think about those words, before I do that thing, before I become that person, before I achieve that, I've got to believe in myself first. I've got to believe in myself. So this energy is going within to try and create something, to try and get things stirring, to try and get motion happening in order to then produce some kind of outward result, some kind of output, right? And that energy going in can be so much better used when it is put straight into the creation of that output instead. Because it's that output that's going to give you something, some kind of result that enables you to actually create that belief that we're looking for. Do you understand what I mean there? So it's that output, it's us putting that energy into the creation of that output that actually is the thing that leads to belief. So belief is created through us actually having some point of reference in our life. So for example, if I think about things that I used to say to myself, things that I wanted in my life, like I wanted to have a healthy, amazing relationship with my body, right? There was no way that you could have got me to believe in myself, believe that I would one day be so comfortable, so at home, so at peace, so in love with my body. There's no way on earth that you would have got me to believe that, no matter how much you told me to believe that, and no matter how much I would have tried to believe that. And all that energy that I tried to put into thinking that was a waste. The only way I got to this point where I do have this amazing relationship with my body now is through what I like to think of as make believe. Right? So I'm just going to dip into the comments because Zuru said, so I see the parallels with that and believe in yourself. Okay, so that's referring to your previous comment that you said. The Stoics say you will always have the ability to act despite what is going on in the external world, right? So yeah, there are some parallels, but actually what the Stoics are referring to, in my interpretation of what you've shared there, is that they are talking about make-believe. And let me expand on what I mean by make-believe. Make-believe is the act of creation. It is the act of creation regardless of how you may feel about a certain thing right now, right? So if we go back to that example of me being so uncomfortable in my body, but yet having this desire, this aspiration to really love being in my body, to feel confident in my body, through my willingness to put one foot in front of the other and do one challenging thing with my body. Now, whether that be wear something above my knees, whether that is to look at myself in my underwear or naked in the mirror or go for a photo shoot or like whatever it is, right? That choice was me making, and as a result of me taking that action, I then created a reference point, a point of reference in my life to say, do you know what? Okay, if it was possible for me to do that, then hey, I might be able to take the next step. And when I take the next step, oh, well, I've just done that. So it might be possible for me to take the next step. And it's interesting, it's kind of like a compounding effect, right? Where actually each time it doubles up. Each time you do something that bit more challenging, it's like your vision expands exponentially. It's like, oh, well, I can see, before I could only see, say, a meter in front of me. But now that I've walked that meter and I've done what I've had to do there, I've taken action there, now I can see double that. right? Now I can see 2 meters ahead of me, where before I could only see 1 meter ahead. Now I can see 2 meters ahead of me, and life is that much more open to me. When you walk those 2 meters, oh, now I can see 4 meters ahead of me, and life opens up even more. So again, going back to this quote, this Stoic quote here that you shared, right? You will always have the ability to act despite what is going on in the external world. What that Stoic there is referencing is the act of, or rather the choice to act regardless of how you may feel, so internally as well as externally. So let me know, Isuru and everyone else that's watching here today, does that make sense? Does that resonate? Do you agree? Do you disagree with me? I'd love to hear what your point of view is on this particular, or my particular interpretation of what I believe to actually be happening, rather than us believing in ourselves. I believe, I'm going to use that word a lot, I feel that the belief comes after, right? I've had countless conversations with my clients who aren't like me. When I first started out on my journey, I wasn't experienced in the relationship dating department, right? So if you got me to say, well, Artie, you're going to be, a year from now, 2 years from now, you're going to be a fearless dater, I'd be like, what? Like, what are you going on about? No way in hell, no chance in hell am I going to be like, there's me who's just gotten over having social anxiety. You're telling me that I'm going to be able to confidently go out there and date? I'm like, no, absolutely not, right? And it was only through that choice that if I want to get better at dating, if I want to confidently date, then I'm going to have to take that one action of maybe the action. So for me, when I first started out, I did get myself on, a good few apps and dating sites, and just the act of talking to people, right? And having messaging guys that I was attracted to, right? And then signing up for events and different things like that, step by step by step. And it was make, believe, right? Make is taking action. Believe is creating a reference point. So make is taking an action and creating it. So it's almost like there's make and there's believe. So make is taking action. In between that is creating a reference point, and that reference point then becomes your belief. Oh, I can do that. I did that. So maybe I can do a bit more. Maybe I can do a little bit more than that. And so then you challenge yourself to do the next thing, and you create another point of reference. That's where it's so easy to say, oh, well, just, if you want to have, millions of dollars worth of income from your business, and you've never looked at an accounting spreadsheet in your life, you've never run a business in your life, then you can believe in yourself all that you want, right? But if that belief is not backed up by some kind of action, some kind of willingness to learn, because I think we do need a real willingness to learn if we want to create belief in our lives, right? If that's not there, again, as I said before, you can say it till you're blue in the face, but I've not seen that work for anyone, right? Again, I go back to what I said right at the start, is that there's this laziness. There's a good few things in, I guess, the self-help personal development world that I think can really enable laziness. One of them, you've probably heard of me talking about a lot here, especially in relation to the dating side of things, is the whole be yourself thing, right? Just be yourself, right? That's another conversation for another time, right? The other thing is this, believing in yourself. There's probably a whole lot more, but maybe I'll make a whole series on that, right? Self-help myths. But this is another one, believing in yourself. There's nuance here. There's mechanics at play that we just need to lift the hood up on to really see what's going on, so that we can be of better service to ourselves and each other. Right, so we can be of better selves to us, to a better service to ourselves and each other, to really actually help us create the lives that we want, make those dreams a reality, bring those visions to life. And also, another really, really important thing is when we just rely on believing in ourselves as the thing that got us through, as I said earlier, we miss out on the mechanics of what we actually did to then be able to replicate it, test it, apply it to other parts of our lives, create similar, better successes in other areas of our lives. When we just put it down to, I just believed in myself. Oh, or so-and-so got to that place in their life because they believed in themselves. You miss out on such a great opportunity to really see the mechanics of what actually did that person do, or what did I do in that situation that enabled me to create that, or them to create that, and how can I apply that to another area of my life? How can I actually continue to apply that in this area of my life so I can do better, so I can succeed that much more, if that is indeed your aspiration to do that, right? So this is it. This is why I think believing in yourself is a false economy. It's BS in my mind. I think it's a really it's an unhelpful and lazy way of trying to get people to move things forward in their life. There's so much more at play there if only we give ourselves the opportunity to really look into it, really investigate it, and then you create a blueprint, you create a template for yourself to create success over and over and over and over again. And I think one of the reasons why it's easier to say just believe in yourself, as opposed to say to someone, well, go out there and challenge yourself, take one step and towards that dream that you have, or that vision that you have. One of the reasons I think we can do that and we can say that is because it's less confronting. It's less challenging. It requires a lot of courage from yourself to go against the grain of acting when you have the least belief, you have the least self-confidence. It takes a lot of courage. And actually, it was in yesterday's yoga practice that I was doing where Adrian, the teacher, said, have the courage to fall. Because we were doing these standing split variations, and my balance is all over the shop. But what I loved about that practice and her saying, have the courage to fall, that it just allows you to be there and recognize that the falling is just as much a part of the creation of the belief that you want as is the success. You know, we focus so much on the success. Hey, the Meraki movement, lovely to have you here. I'm just talking about why I believe believing in yourself is a myth. I'm back alive. We are just talking about why believing in yourself is a myth and what's actually happening instead. Meraki Movement has said yes. Please expand on that. Can you tell me, are you in agreement with me? Are you in a disagreement with me? What do you feel about the whole believing in yourself trope that is put out there time and time again? Is it something that you agree with? Going back to that point of having the courage to fall, that is an integral part of creating belief, creating self-belief, right? And that is why I think it's easier to say to someone, just believe in yourself, because it's the nice way, it's the less challenging, it's the less confronting way to try and help someone. But actually you're not helping them by saying just believe in yourself. And I can say wholeheartedly, every single person that I've coached since I started coaching back in 2016, these words have never been uttered. I've never said to my client, go out there and believe in yourself. And yet they have gone out there and created things and created relationships and careers and gone for their aspirations or whatever it may be that they wanted. And it wasn't because they believed in themselves. It was because we focused on the tangible action that they need to take time and time again, and the challenging action that they needed to take time and time again in order for them to create that movement that they needed. Right? So it feels very quiet here in the comments. Is this resonating with you? I want to hear, do you disagree? Do you agree? Meraki Movement is saying we are always up and down. It's about small improvements and consistency. Exactly, that is life. Life is not this upward curve that is just constant progress and success, right? It is through taking that action that we ride those waves of life, right? Belief comes and goes. You know what, Meraki Movement, that's a really interesting point that you make there, because I was talking about it in last week's live, where motivation, it's in a very similar sphere, right? That we believe that motivation is what we need in order to achieve our goals. It's very much in the same camp. It's a fickle friend. I said this last week. Motivation is a fickle friend. And what you've said there, Meraki Movement, that belief comes and goes. Belief is a fickle friend as well. It does come and go. It does ebb and flow, right? But what is consistently there is our willingness and our courageousness to keep going, to keep trying, to keep taking action, right? So I'm seeing some comments come through, so let's go through them. So Ket Fitania is saying, agree, all done to focus on what you want and being able to learn. It's just such a better way of using our energy. As I said at the start, believing in yourself is just such a waste of energy. It's in the wrong direction completely. You're putting all that effort into trying to get yourself in a certain state of mind for which you have no reference point. Instead, you could put that energy straight into the output, and there is where you'll see the results. That's where you'll create the belief. So yeah, thank you, Kat. I really appreciate that. Meraki Movement is saying build a house one brick at a time. Yeah, exactly. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? We hear that a lot. It's one brick to create a solid foundation. And then on top of that, when you've got that solid foundation, you then put another, and then you put another. And that's when you start to see your dreams, your aspirations, your visions start to build and create into something that is, it's like, oh, you can take that in, and it's like, oh, now my dreams are starting to come true. It's not like, bang, believe in myself and there it is, it's all magically done. No way, right? Becoming the person that you want to be Achieving the things that you want to do is done through practice, not magic. And I think that's what believing in ourselves has us thinking. It's almost like this magical, wishful thinking. And trust me, I'm all there for miraculous thinking. I mean, I'm a student of A Course in Miracles, and not just that, but I believe 100% that there is a greater force at play when it comes to us creating what we want in our lives. But it's not done just off the back of that magical, miraculous force. It's done through our contribution and our working with it. So, for example, the universe meets you halfway. No, it doesn't. No, it does not. You go 100% full out, and the universe will meet you there. Again, it's this thinking, it's this language that just enables lack of self-responsibility and, a sort of tardiness, a sort of laziness of like, well, okay, that means I only need to do this much and then the universe will take care of the rest of it. No, you show up. You show up with courage. You show up with conviction. You create. Then you'll be met by something that says, oh, here, and here's a helping hand, right? Or here it is. So that's really, really important. It's built, as you said, Meraki Movement, build a house one brick at a time. So Isuru is saying, so believe in yourself must be replaced with a more direct spur to action. Yeah, I will never use the word must. That's entirely up to you, Isuru, in terms of what resonates with you in terms of what is then the mechanism that you use to create what you want. For me, as I shared here, it's been make believe. That has worked for me. Gosh, I don't know what happened there. Technology, that's really strange. I got a call come through. I cancelled that and I lost all sound. So I'm going to wait here a moment because that was a really interesting conversation. Hey, I see some people joining again. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anissa. Thank you, Ket, for joining me again. Technology, hey, who'd have it? Yeah, I got a phone call there and it just completely knocked out my sound, which is really frustrating because there were some really great comments in there that I wanted to read and go through. So I know, Anissa, I could see you saying something, and Ket, I could see you saying something. So please, if you wouldn't mind, just retyping your comments about what you thought of our discussion. Onakage 36, thank you so much for joining me again. Apologies for the technical interruption there. I can see you all filing in again, which is really cool. Isuru, welcome back. Yes, let's get back into the conversation there. I was actually going to start to wrap things up again, but I really want to hear from you because I know there were some comments there in the comments field that I wanted to go through. So I know I saw some comments from you, Anissa and Ket and Isuru and Onakage. So if you can remember what you said, please do share with me again. What are your thoughts on this conversation that we've been having so far? Ket saying, take ownership and responsibility for your actions and what you want from life. Yes, this is what it boils down to. Absolutely, Ket, is that we have to take responsibility. We can't just assume that these greater forces will hang around and will, just at our every whim, or every request be like, here you go. This is how you do it. There's no way that through not taking part in life that we're going to create the things that we so want. So 100%, I really believe, and I think Jordan Peterson talks about this a lot, and I really, really respect that man and love so much of the work that he does, where he speaks a lot of taking as much responsibility as you possibly can, taking ownership for as much as you possibly can, and not in a sort of martyred way. You don't martyr yourself, right? But you take as much responsibility for yourself as you possibly can, for the life that you're creating and for the things that really, really matter for you. And you will see the quality of your life improve tremendously, and the quality of its meaning and your fulfillment improve immensely as well. So 100%. Take as much responsibility as you can. D Mystery 1979, long name there, but you said hi, hello, welcome, thank you. This is part 2 of this live that I started this afternoon about this conversation of why believing in yourself is a waste of time. So do join in the conversation here. Onikage is saying there are too many sayings and not enough actions. Most likely you are taking risk because you believe in yourself. It is taking actions and being consistent and accepting the results, good or bad. So are you saying, from what I can see there, are you saying that what we've been discussing here, that actually the belief has been created because you've chosen to take the risk? Because I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's like that willingness to take the risk, put yourself out there, as we said just before, right? That willingness to, or rather having the courage to fall, right? Having the courage to fall is what enables you to believe that, or create that belief, 100%. Anissa says, I was about to say that people think yourself thin when without nutrition and exercise you'll never get there. By the way, this live has really encouraged me to get going on this. There you go. It's all about taking action, right? Awesome. So yeah, exactly. Thank you actually, Anissa, for saying that, because whenever one of my clients, at the end of or during a coaching session says to me, when I ask them, okay, so what are you taking away from our conversation today? What are you going to start to put into action? And whenever I hear a client or a event attendee participant say, I'm going to think about what I'm going to do, I'm like, no, like alarm bells keep going, red flags wave. Thinking is not an action, right? Thinking is not an action. It's the precursor to us potentially taking action. So yeah, of course you can't think yourself thin, or in my case, think myself bigger. Like I wanted to put on weight, but I could not think myself into that situation. I would have to absolutely take the action, right? The nutrition, the exercise, the actually taking into account the constitution, the natural constitution of my body. Right, what does it want? How does it want to be? All of those things, it happens through that willingness to go beyond the thinking. As I said, thinking is just the precursor to that. So thank you so much. So D Mystery 1979 says, believe in yourself is the key to be loving to yourself, and then to love others too. I'm interested in what you mean there, D Mystery. I'm not sure I fully comprehend what you're saying there. So if you're up for expanding on that, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. And Onikage says, right, I choose to take a risk, which means I have faith in myself. Exactly, right? I think there's a difference. I personally believe there's a big difference between belief and faith. If we just step away from the sort of religious connotations of that kind of those kind of words, right? I think for me personally, I know I have really sort of ridden on the waves of faith more than belief. Like so much of what I've done and created in my life has had a whole heap of faith attached to it. It really, really has. And that has come from that ability to recognize that I need to act as well. I need to take action. I need to create, right? And there's a beautiful post-it that I have on my notice board by a wonderful business coach called Susie Ashworth. She says, faith plus action equals miracles. And 100% I agree with that. This is not just us blindly believing or having faith. There's that adage, right? Blind faith. I don't believe faith is blind when it's backed up with some kind of action, right? So that's what we want. We want to capture that faith, because it is the thing that does sometimes get us through those dark, challenging moments. A bit like what you said previously, Isuru, where the thought of believing in yourself can actually be quite a comforting thought. I think faith is very much that in those dark times for us, but that has to be coupled with action in order for us to create those miracles that we want in our lives. So I think we're all on the same page here, that we are really understanding that this is a responsibility that we have, not to just throw this trope around, believe in yourself. As I said earlier, it's lazy, it's untrue, right? I personally, it's untrue. It's a load of BS. Actually, let's elevate the quality of conversation here by, if someone does say, well, just believe in yourself, to actually say, well, what do you mean? What do you actually mean when you're telling me to believe in myself? What are you suggesting that I do? I always say to my clients, like, when we do any of the coaching work together, whether that was fearless dating, whether that was I love my body, freedom through movement, whatever it is, it's about being willing to become an ambassador for that work. And in choosing to become an ambassador for that work, what that means is the willingness to really sometimes push against certain things that are just said out there, but not actually thought, not actually understood, not actually put into action. So the next time someone says to you, just believe in yourself, ask them, what do you mean? And how? How do you suggest I do that? And also, why do you think that's going to work? Chances are, if someone says to you or explains what they mean by believing in them, in yourself or themselves, there's going to be more there. There's going to be something else that they're doing that is actually leading to the belief, not the other way around. So that's my challenge to you out there as ambassadors for this work, right? Be willing to have those conversations. Try and be more helpful. I think that's it for all of us. That's the call to action here, where we can really be of service, not just to ourselves, but to each other. Like, try and be more helpful to people, to yourself, by being willing to just push up against some of these things that are thrown out there that actually are just going to send a lot of people around in circles. Or if it's not sending them round in circles, it's just not actually helping them understand what they truly did, to then be able to replicate that somewhere else in their life, to actually be able to help someone else create something, something else beautiful in their lives. I feel that's a responsibility that not that all of us have, but that it's a responsibility that I feel I've taken on, and I choose to have, and I want to have. And if I believe that you're here engaging in this conversation with me here today, and I think that you believe that that's a responsibility that you have for yourself, and you know, whether that is you have children, whether that is you have a partner, members of your family, maybe you teach or something, that's a responsibility that we have, to be of service to other people, to be helpful to them. And this is one of the ways in which we can do that. We can help them understand the mechanics of what they've actually been doing, to be able to really, really lean into it and create more in their lives, succeed even more in their lives, help even more people in their lives. It's really, really important. So as Siri says here, be like Nike and just do it. Exactly, just do it. Just do it, right? It's that we can get so stuck in that space of thinking ourselves into inaction, completely think ourselves into inaction. I know I've got countless examples where I've done that, where I have not acted, where I have slowed myself down immensely because I've just been in that space of, what should I do, or is this the right thing to do, or I should wait until I do believe in myself and then I'll be able to take action. No, we don't want that. Take the action, and there you will be informed with a result. So D Mystery says, love yourself at first, then gradually to have faith by loving others. So love yourself at first, then gradually to have faith by loving others. So I'm not 100% sure there, D Mystery, what exactly you mean in terms of, in relation to what we're speaking about here today. I'd love, yeah, for you to expand on that. Love yourself at first, gradually to have faith by loving others. So again, maybe this is where you and I disagree, D Mystery, because I also think that maybe this is a conversation that we can have again on live a few weeks' time, but that loving yourself can be quite a misdirection of energy as well, because it can be hard. Like, again, speaking from personal experience, as someone that couldn't find a bone in my body to love, right? Could not find a single bone in my body to love. To tell me to love myself, there was no reference point for that. No reference point for that at all. Actually, the love came through taking the action. By taking that action and seeing, I don't actually fall flat on my face when I've done that. There's a little bit of love that grew, a little spark that grew there for me, and that expanded and expanded. So that's my personal experience. If you do disagree with that, of course we're all entitled to our own opinions here, right? But that's been my understanding and my experience, and again, what I've seen for my clients as well. Get has said, you, what do you mean? You, what do you mean by you? Can you expand on that? That's very straight to the point. I'm not sure what you mean there. So I hope this conversation here today has been an interesting and a helpful one. I want to hear from you. Let's continue this conversation, right? Just because this live is, coming to an end, that the conversation stops here. Absolutely not. Keep letting me know of how you're putting make believe into action for yourself, where it's working, how it's working, exactly what you're doing. Like, as I said, get really, really inquisitive and curious about how you're creating in your life, where you're creating, what's actually happening, what you're actually doing in order to create those results. So Get is saying you have all the answers within you. You have all the answers within you. Yes and no. Again, maybe this is my opinion again. I feel, sometimes we don't. And I was actually having this conversation with myself in my head as I was having lunch, right? Sometimes I think we try to be too self-sufficient. And actually, if I have another gripe with a lot of maybe the personal development world and self-help world and stuff that's out there, is sometimes it tries to be too generated from the self, and actually it's completely okay to reach out and say, I need help. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Whether that is in your relationships, whether that is in your area of finances, whatever it may be, right? It's okay to want to get help. And whether that then enables you to build that muscle to then start to look within a bit more and really generate those answers for yourself and that clarity with yourself, is great. But I think, so many of the insights, so many of the things that I've learned on this journey has been because I've reached out for help a lot. And just to have that someone mirror something back to you or reflect something back to you, I feel that that's where that muscle of, okay, really being able to search for the answers within comes from. So yes, we do have a lot of the answers within, but sometimes we don't as well, and that's totally okay because we're human, right? We're human, and it's okay for us to reach out for help. It's okay for us to say, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what that means, and please, can you help me? So again, let me know if that resonates with you. And Anakaga says, I agree. What do you agree with? Do you agree with Ket, or is there something else? Ket says, agreed, see your point. Yes, everyone needs help. Yeah, at some point we all do. We've all been there, or we all will be there. I think that's just a natural part of being human. As I said, if we try to be overly self-sufficient, sometimes that's when we can become quite disconnected from ourselves and from other people. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. But thank you for being here, and let's continue this conversation. I am here also because I want to share with you that on the 8th of February, Activate 2022 starts, and so much of what we've discussed here we will be doing in that 4-week beautiful program where we will move beyond belief. We will move beyond needing to believe in ourselves. We will actually start to create those reference points in your life. And as to what Ket just said here about help, right? We will create that support system with each other. We'll create that accountability with each other where we will be helping each other. We will become a platform for each other's dreams, right? Whatever that is, whether that's in your dating life, whether that's in your health, your fitness, whether that's in your finances, doesn't matter. No area is out of bounds when it comes to Activate 2022. If it's important to you, it's important to me, it's important to your fellow activators to help you start to bring that dream to life. And I want to help you in doing that, and I want to be on your team, and I want you to be on my team as we do that together. So we move way beyond believing in yourself, and we actually start to take action. We start to make believe instead. So whatever your dream is for this year, whatever your vision is for this year, and much like what we discussed in the last live on Akage, you mentioned that one of the things that stood out to you was, even if you don't know what that dream is yet, I will personally help you in this program to extract that dream, whether you know what it is, you're clear about it, or whether you're a bit sketchy or don't know what it is at all. Yeah, we will go through the most beautiful process to start extracting that dream from you and laying it out so that you have a clear idea of what it is. And then from that, we elicit the steps that you need to start to take in order for that dream, that vision to become your reality. Whether that's this year, whether it's just like the starting of it this year and the rest of it comes to fruition later, whatever it may be, but we will start it. You will notice a difference in those 4 weeks alone that we spend together. You will notice a big difference in terms of what you're creating, in terms of what you're doing, in terms of how you are living your life and what you're aimed towards and how it is being created for you. So I 100% want you on that program with me. If you feel this is something that will help you, it starts on the 8th of February. It's open for you to join today, to sign up and secure your spots. You can become an activator, and we can get ready on the 8th of February to start doing this work together, start bringing your dreams to life. I would absolutely love to go on this journey with you. So if you have any questions, drop them here now. If you have any questions about the program at all, just to give you a heads up, it's a 4-week program. So we meet once a week. We have live coaching. So you have hot seat coaching where I coach you directly, but it has a very kind of interactive workshop-y feel to it as well. So we'll be doing a lot of work together. You won't just be listening to me talking at you. We'll have a lot of this interaction together. It's on Zoom, So I'll be able to see you and I'll be able to speak with you live. And that we will have then support structure in between calls as well, where we stay in touch, where we help each other stay accountable. We really check in with each other's dreams and each other's progress, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So Onakage says, I agree with you. Oh, you agreed with me earlier. No worries. And Isuru says, really excited about it. Yeah, I'm so excited to go on this journey with you as well, Isuru. And I want more activators on board so we can all support each other. So I believe, because you're here having this conversation with me, that you would actually really, really love what Activate has to offer you and what it can help you create. So let's all do that together. So if you have any questions, like I said, drop them here or DM me directly. If there's something, if you want to know how the program could help you, then make sure you drop me that question. We'll find out exactly how it can help you, if it is the right fit for you, if it's the right time for you right now. I don't plan on running this program until, again, maybe this time next year. So this will be a one-off for now, as far as I know. So if you want to take advantage of it, now is your time. Now is your time for us to go on this beautiful journey together. So remember, I actually gave a discount code to my newsletter subscribers. But if you're not a newsletter subscriber, then just use the code ACTIVATE, and that will get you £50 off the price. There are 3 payment plans available, starting at just £99. It's been my desire to make this as accessible as possible. I know that January can be quite a challenging time for all of us with post-Christmas, a lot of spending, and obviously a longer wait until payday as well for so many of us. So know that payment plan, monthly payment plan option is there. You can join from just £99. Use that code ACTIVATE. Let me write it in the comments. ACTIVATE. You just need to type that in when you sign up to the program. You'll get £50 off the full asking price there. I want you on my team. I want to be on your team. Let's activate your year. Let's activate 2022. Let's start bringing your most important priorities and dreams to life this year. Let's go beyond believing in ourselves. Let's make believe instead. Thank you so much for joining me. I really loved our conversation here today. Thank you for putting up with the technical error as well. And let's go on this journey together, because I want to go on it with you. All right. Big love to you. And I can't wait to be with you live again on Thursday. All right. So much love. Bye.